Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Bidi Vapor products are not for sale to people under 21 years old.
Hello, and welcome to today's webcast on the state of vaping. I'm Angel Abcede, veteran writer for the convenience store industry. In this episode, we'll be focusing on the changing landscape around flavors, regulatory compliance, and working toward FDA market authorization. My guests today are the leadership of Bidi Vapor, who recently won a favorable judgment from the courts regarding their pre-market tobacco product application, or PMTA. We have the founder and chief science officer of Kaival Brands Group, the U.S. distributor of Bidi Vapor. He's Niraj or Raj Patel. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Angel.
And we have Russell Quick, who runs Kaival Marketing and Sales, or KMS. Hello, Russ.
Hello, Angel. Thanks for having me.
So, Raj, let's start with the breaking news that Bidi Vapor just won a legal case against the FDA. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it's a bit complicated, but it has to do with our company is just trying to get an authorization to sell our vaping product, and particularly our non-tobacco flavor products here in US. We are going through a PMTA process, but without getting too complicated, the FDA last September issued a marketing denial order, or MDO, for mostly all flavor vaping products, including Bidi Vapor. But the problem was that FDA did not review our entire application before they denied our application or issued an MDO. We decided to challenge an MDO in 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. And after almost a year, last month, the court set aside our MDO as being arbitrary and capricious and remanded our PMTA to put back into FDA for further scientific review.
Oh, so what happens now?
So FDA hasn't made any announcement yet, but we do believe that the next step would be that FDA puts our comprehensive PMTA back into scientific review. And if FDA reviews our science and all the evidence, we are hopeful for positive results.
Well, let me turn to you, Russ. What does it mean for marketing?
Well, that's a great question, Angel, and we're excited about this ruling. It means that we can continue to sell our flavored vaping products across the United States legally, subject to FDA enforcement discretion. But the big picture is this: most companies have not made it this far. Either the courts did not decide in their favor, or FDA actually reviewed their PMTAs and they were denied marketing authorization orders. Remember, when we first got our MDO last September, so did 99% of all companies that submitted flavored vape PMTAs. But we contested the FDA on the merits of our case and our submission of science, and we've gotten legal stays on our MDO until now. So this court ruling really helps us, as this got us the victory on the court on the merits of our case.
So this case sounds unusual. This victory is quite unusual. If it is, what does it mean for the vaping industry?
Well, Angel, there are 5 other e-juice and vaping companies that were wrapped into our case, as we took the lead in the case in the 11th Circuit, and they all received a favorable verdict. But there have been others before us that did not get a positive ruling, and they now face FDA enforcement if they do not come off the market. I think our case gives the industry hope for the players that are following the regulations or are following compliance. It says that the FDA can't act in an arbitrary and capricious way, and that they have to do what they say they would do, basically review our PMTAs and our science to determine if we're appropriate for the protection of public health.
Oh, can you get into some detail, like what did the judge actually say in your case?
Sure, Angel. So essentially, the judges found our argument valid, that the FDA acted in an arbitrary and capricious manner. Specifically, the court held that the FDA failed to consider the relevant evidence before it, including our aggressive and very comprehensive marketing and sales access restrictions plans designed to prevent youth appeal and youth access. The judge said that the FDA took shortcuts that they shouldn't have.
Raj, as the founder of the company, how does that ruling make you feel?
Very relieved, Angel. We have always been in compliance. But this is a two-way street. The FDA has to do what they said that they were going to do. That means they should properly put our PMTA through a scientific review. And FDA also repeatedly said that they will let the science lead their decisions. But when they give all those MDO in last fall, it seems that they rushed everything. They didn't take the proper time to do those evaluations. But now, BD sees the path forward that our science will get reviewed and BD will soon be an alternative for adult smokers.
So, Russ, what's next for Bidi Vapor?
Well, for one thing, Angel, we're going to keep doing what we've always been doing. Some of our retail partners have been hesitant to bring in our products in their stores because of the uncertainty around the FDA and what's legal and what's not. Hopefully now this ruling gives our partners confidence that our comprehensive 285,000 pages of our PMTA application has been remanded back to the scientific review. This means our science and our youth prevention programs must be reviewed by the FDA. We feel this puts us in an excellent spot within the industry.
Well, speaking of confidence, I hear you signed a licensing agreement with an affiliate of Philip Morris International. Raj, can you tell us about that?
Yes, that has been a long time coming. We signed an agreement with PMI so that way they can use our intellectual properties, the patents, and methods to develop their self-contained electronic vaping devices. This summer, they introduced their disposable device called Viba into Canada.
Wow, that sounds like a major achievement, having distribution through a global company.
Yes, as you know, that PMI is a worldwide distributor of Marlboro cigarettes. But the PMI is in process of transitioning to be a smoke-free company. So now they will have a certain global distribution rights to our vapor technology under our current agreements, and which we hope that it will help them to achieve that goal.
Are you shocked that it happened?
I always had a confidence in our product, and we knew that we would eventually distribute it worldwide. But this agreement just takes that steps and it makes that happen sooner.
So let's go back to the U.S. market. Russ, what challenges and opportunities do you see here at home?
Well, that's a good question, Angel. So the big challenges that we face every day is synthetic nicotine, particularly the new disposable products and counterfeits which continue to flood the market on a daily basis. Recently, Congress essentially banned all these types of vaping devices that use synthetic nicotine as of this July. So they're supposed to be off the market, but they're not. So we're kind of waiting for that enforcement.
So why is the situation as it is?
Well, not to point fingers, but enforcement by the FDA is at issue here. It's really the big issue. Retailers and distributors just aren't seeing any consequences for selling illegal and counterfeit products.
So where does that put Bidi?
Well, it makes it very hard to compete when you go against what I call bad actors in this space. We're making inroads with very reliable and responsible retailers that are all about compliance and regulation. But there's still a long ways to go. The more the industry educates itself about the situation, we think companies like Bidi Vapor, who strive for compliance, regulation, and prevention of youth access, will succeed in the long haul. We've always put compliance and responsible marketing as our core pillar to go to market.
And Raj, how do you see the future?
Angel's Bidi's journey has not been the easy one. We have spent millions on compliance and scientific studies, including clinical trials and behavior studies. We know how our product works, how adults respond to our packaging and messaging. Since we don't have time to go all this in details now, let me say one thing, that if FDA look at our science, the actual research that we have done that they have asked for, we think they will be impressed. Like I have said all along, that we do believe that our device is a good alternative for adult smokers, and it can be an important part for our smoke-free future.
And that's a great message to end on. We hope you've gained some insight on what it's like to be on the front lines of the vaping battle today. I'd like to thank our guests from Bidi Vapor, Niraj Patel and Russ Quick. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Angel.
Thanks, Angel.
And I'm Angel Abcede. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.